My name is Tuesday-tastic, and today I'll be creating a tier list where instead of ranking the characters against each other in terms of how strong they are, today I'll be making a tier list based on how much I love watching the character, how much I love fighting against the character, or how much I hate fighting against the character, or how much I hate watching them. So let's get started. Alright, so I have 4 tiers to choose from. 1. I love watching this character, and I love fighting against this character. 2. I hate watching this character, but I love fighting against them. Or, conversely, I love watching them, but I hate fighting them. For the last tier, I hate watching them, and I hate playing against them. Starting off with Banjo and Kazooie. Banjo is a weird character. You don't see him a lot in competitive tournaments, but when you do, he's always the underdog, so you want to root for him. But when you have to fight him, he's super boring to fight against, and I don't think he's that interesting to watch, honestly, so sorry Banjo, you're being put down here. Bayonetta. Bayonetta, the thing about her is, I watched a lot of Smash 4, and obviously she ruined the game. I will say, in Ultimate, she is not as bad of a character, and she can be fun to watch sometimes. But overall, the viewing experience and the play experience against Bayo is miserable. Sorry, Bayonetta. Bowser Jr. I don't like fighting against Bowser Jr. because he's got all these projectiles you have to worry about. He has the clown car, so he can burst from halfway across the stage to hit you, and he has all these mix-ups. Very complicated character to fight against. But man, is it really fun to watch him. You never know what he's going to do, and honestly, I want to root for him. I want to root for the Bowser Jr. player. Bowser. Bowser is a character that I have struggled with in the past, and I know the matchup a little bit better now, but still, the thing about Bowser is he's just really heavy, and it takes forever to kill him. He's got that really annoying B out of shield. So I hate fighting against him, but I'm not gonna lie, Hero in Japan is my favorite Japanese player to watch, so I'll put Bowser in the same tier as his son. Captain Falcon. I'm biased. I mained Captain Falcon for a while, but am I wrong? He's super fun to watch. He's explosive. He's just super dynamic and fast. The games are short and quick. And if you're fighting against Falcon, sure, you can get exploded, but you can also explode Falcon. You just hit him off stage, edgeguard him. Edgeguarding Falcon feels great, but he also has a ton of mix-ups to get around it. So Falcon, you get the top spot for now. Charizard. I guess I can do all Pokemon Trainer right now. For Charizard is fun to fight. I mean, I don't really have any issues with Charizard. He's just a fun character to play against. He's a heavy. He's not as annoying as Bowser to fight against. He's got some good tools, like his up smash. But in general, yeah, I like fighting Charizard. Ivysaur, on the other hand, ugh. I do not enjoy fighting against Ivysaur, having to deal with Razor Leaf and Vine Whip and the massive dare. Trying to recover against Ivysaur is so stressful. And, Ivysaur does slow the game down. He's not the worst to watch. Okay. I think I have to put Ivysaur down here. Sorry. Squirtle. Let's see, where are you? Get up here. Squirtle is really annoying to fight, just because he's so small, but he's fun to watch. I'll give him that. So yeah, watching the combos, watching people create massive strings with Squirtle, that's fun. He's got a really cool combo game. Fighting against him is just hard because he's so small and hard to hit. Chrom. Chrom is not that bad. He's a really good swordy. He's strong. He'll kill you, but you can edgeguard him. And I think characters that have a really strong onstage presence but can be easily gimped, I think they're interesting to fight against, because you have to play so careful, and then you knock them off stage once and the tables completely turn. So I don't find Chrom that bad to fight, and it's always fun to watch a good Chrom. Same with Roy. Where is he? Roy, same thing. Watching Roy explode someone at 20%, super satisfying. Fighting against Roy, yeah, it's a little stressful because he can blow you up, but you can also blow up Roy because, again, same thing, edge guard him. Okay, Cloud. Cloud, ooh. I have never enjoyed Cloud as a competitor. Cloud has got that really good back air. Cloud, like, he stops your approaches with cross slash, and whenever he gets limit, it's just a game of keep away. But I really like watching Spargo play. He really showcases the strengths of Cloud and just has really great decision making in general. I can't knock Cloud for that. I don't personally enjoy fighting Cloud, but like I can understand other people who would. Because again, like just like Chrom and Roy, Cloud does have a bad recovery, but he's got enough things to make it back to stage, and it's always risky fighting against Cloud because he can spike you for it. Corrin. Corrin is just... There's so many sword characters in this game, and the thing about Corrin is, like, she's one of the most bland ones. Like, she's got her instant pin, and she's got that counter and stun thing, but, like, Corrin herself isn't doing anything that I find particularly interesting, and having to fight against Corrin is equally annoying because her sword is massive, and if she ever charges an F smash on your shield, it's super annoying and there's nothing you can do. Daisy. Daisy was my main before I started my Character Crisis series, but like objectively, Peach and Daisy are super fun to watch. They have amazing combo games, like being able to see that one combo that Mewtwo did against MKLeo at Genesis, like that just shows you the level of creativity that comes with playing Peach and Daisy. They're strong characters, but they're not so overtuned that it's impossible to fight against them. They win neutral once, they knock you to like 70-80% damage, and then they can struggle to kill from there, and I don't know, just float is a cool mechanic. I love Peach and Daisy. I'm sorry. I'm biased. Pit. Zachary has been showing us more Pit recently than we have ever seen in the history of Ultimate, and I think there is a distinction between the two. I think that Dark Pit is less interesting than Pit, simply because Pit's arrows are so cool. Fighting against these characters, it's not that bad. They're fine. Like, I think Dark Pit can be put into the boring to watch category simply because Pit is more fun to watch, because when you see a skilled Pit player use all of their tools, like arrows and like sniping someone multiple times off stage, that's awesome. Whereas with Dark Pit, his tools are just a little more boring. Like, I could put him in the same tier as Pit, but I'm gonna put him here just because if I had to choose which one to watch, it would be Pit. But fighting them, they're not too bad. They're just good characters. Samus. Samus is another zoner, but she's a zoner that can actually box with you, which does make her a little more interesting in that regard. Honestly, I don't mind fighting Samus all that much. She has strong tools, but she can be... like, it's this game of rock, paper, scissors, especially when she's got, like, charge shot, where it's like, is she gonna shoot it? Is she not? Can I approach? That sort of thing. And I think that rock, paper, scissors makes her interesting to play against because she has strong tools, but there's always counterplay to her strong tools, especially if you have a reflector. Then it becomes very interesting to fight her. Watching Samus is not that fun. You just kind of see her put bomb at ledge, and there's nothing you can really do about it. Like, I'm sorry. Sorry, Samus players. I don't enjoy watching your character, but I'll happily play friendlies against you. Diddy Kong. Okay, so the thing about Diddy Kong is when I'm watching Tweak play, I love Tweak. Like, Tweak will do the coolest combos with, like, banana on platform, lock them, and then he'll throw it back down on them, get an F smash. Like, Tweak is sick. The average Diddy Kong player, annoying as hell. Just having to deal with banana and, like, you know, it's a chore fighting against Diddy Kong. I love watching Diddy Kong. I hate fighting against him. Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong is just fun. I don't care. Like, whoever is having fun in the match is whoever's in advantage state. And it's as simple as that. Donkey Kong is easy to combo, but Donkey Kong can also kill you out of nowhere. Having played Donkey Kong recently for my character crisis, he became one of my favorite characters. I mean, he already was, but even more so. Donkey Kong is just, like, he's a cool guy. And if you play against Donkey Kong, like, sure, you can get ding-donged, and that's annoying, but as long as you play around that, someone's having fun no matter what. That's my take. Dr. Mario. Okay, Dr. Mario, I want to root for him. He is such an underdog. Like, there is, like, he's a lot of people consider him bottom 5 in the game, but the thing about Dr. Mario is he is so hard to fight against. Pills are an amazing projectile. He can kill you at 60% from a down throw at ledge. He's, like, super explosive, and so playing against Dr. Mario, you have to be so passive. You can't let him in. You can't let him approach. And it's this game of like, oh, I'll just slowly push you towards the ledge and not let you interact with me at all. But like when I'm watching a Dr. Mario, it's like, how's he gonna get in? What is gonna happen here? So like, yeah, that's Dr. Mario. Love to watch him, hate to fight him. Duck Hunt Dog. Okay, so Duck Hunt was the character I most recently did for my character crisis. And before I did my character crisis on Duck Hunt, I would have put him down here. Like, oh, it's just a zoner. Oh, he just, like, traps you. He just, like, does all these sort of things. But after playing as the character, no way, man. Duck Hunt is one of the coolest characters in the game. Fight me. The thing about Duck Hunt is he has so much creativity in his moveset that what Duck Hunt can do is just amazing. Like, he's got a really good combo game. Like, if you land a clay pigeon on somebody, the rest is up to your imagination on how you do it. And, like, fighting against Duck Hunt can be difficult, but I appreciate a good Duck Hunt player because they'll do things I never expected. And, like, having to constantly be aware of can is an interesting minigame, and I'm a big fan of Duck Hunt now. Falco. Falco is one of my least favorite characters to fight against. However, he does have a cool combo game. It's fun to watch Falco players do nasty combos that last forever. It's awful to be stuck in the Falco blender for forever. And given that I used to play Daisy and I would float right into up tilt range, that happened to me a lot. So I hate Falco. I hate fighting against Falco, but like, if Tilde's on screen, I'll be watching. I'll be cheering for him. Fox. Fox is, I mean, there's a reason why Melee is still one of the most popular Smash games. Fox is just a really cool character. He's fast, he's interactive, he forces people to fight him. A really good Fox player is just on reaction doing everything. And like, when he hits you with that up smash, it's just, ooh. Watching it, playing against it, it's good. But like, fighting against Fox also isn't that bad because the win condition against Fox is edgeguard him. Being able to edgeguard Fox makes Fox feel less oppressive, and while he is incredibly strong, I love fighting Fox and I love watching Fox. No issues there. Game & Watch. I mean, let's be real. Your character has a losing matchup to Mr. Game & Watch. Almost every character in the game does. And playing against him, you have to be so careful about not getting hit by his up B out of shield. You have to be ready to punish him if he does go for it. But like, he has so many different mix-ups. And then watching him, it's just like, oh, they hit his shield, up B, down air, up B, down air. Like, Riddles versus Amiya. It's just, what do you do? He takes advantage state, holds on to it for several minutes, and then kills you with a dumb smash attack that he armored through. Sorry, Game & Watch, you're just oppressive. Ganondorf. Ganondorf has the low tier factor coming to play, where it's like, yeah, underdogs, I love them. And like, but compared to Dr. Mario, if I get hit by something from Ganon, it feels like my fault. Like, Ganon can't approach with a projectile, and that's the big difference between the two. Dr. Mario has Pill, Ganon has down B, Wizard's Foot, not really the same thing. And so, and like, it's really easy to edgeguard Ganon, and I don't know. I don't mind the character that much. If you die at 40%, then you're just like, whoa, and it's a little scary, but you then remind yourself, you're fighting against the worst character in the game. Take a deep breath, relax, keep on playing. Greninja. Greninja is pretty sick, honestly. Character is fast, he is strong, he is, like, he's just a ninja character, and the ninja archetype's always kind of cool. But fighting against Greninja is really annoying because he's hard to hit, and he can escape your combos very easily, and he's fast, so he'll just like zone break anything. Watching a good Greninja, fantastic. Give me it. But fighting against one, please, I don't want to deal with it. Hero. Hero is fun to watch, regardless of how it is to play against him. But whether he's fun to fight against or not fun to fight against wholly depends on what buffs he gets. Overall, though, I'd say that fighting against Hero is pretty fun because there's this whole mini game of like, don't let him get mana, don't let him, like, if he doesn't have mana, you can approach, you can pressure him. If he pulls out the menu, you got some time to go in and punish. But like, if you're playing a character that has a bunch of projectiles, like Olimar, wow, Hero with bounce is cancer. But in general, I think Hero is really fun to watch. I mean, like, you see him land a stupid crit, and like, that's the other thing. If you get hit by bullshit crits, that puts him down here. But in general, I think the matchup is interesting enough to not have it be garbage to fight against. Hero could go in either of these tiers, but I'm gonna put him in this tier. Ice Climbers. Oh boy, Ice Climbers, so annoying to fight, but really fun to watch. The thing about Ice Climbers is, ever since Melee, they have been a toxic character, just wobbling in Melee, chain grabs in Brawl, and I have to give huge respect to Sakurai for making Ice Climbers an interesting character in Ultimate. And like, I love watching Big D. I love watching Ice Climber combo videos because Ice Climbers can do some degenerate things, but you feel like they earned it. But fighting against Ice Climbers, you have to be so careful. Like, if you grab the wrong climber, the other one can hit you right as you grab them, and that's super frustrating. And then you have to be worried about getting touch of death, and like, I mean, there is that whole mini game of like killing the other climber, but that's tedious and it takes long enough that you can, if you lose focus once, you can just die for it. So like, super fun to watch, not very fun to fight against. Ike. Ike is just big, burly swordsman, and for that reason, like, I think he belongs here. Ike is pretty basic. He's not doing anything that's like particularly interesting, but fighting against him, you kind of have to like have this careful spacing game, and like, you need to bait him out into attacks, and then you can whiff punish him for it because his attacks are all super slow. Watching him, he's fine. He doesn't spark that level of interest that I have for other characters, but fighting against Ike, I enjoy it. He's easy to combo, he's easy to edge guard, and for that reason, I think he deserves this tier. Incineroar. Oh baby, Incineroar. Man, this character was one of my favorite characters before SkyJ started popping off, and then I did my character crisis on Incineroar, and I just have to say, Incineroar has become one of my favorite characters in the game. Incineroar is, like, his one weakness is that he's slow, and arguably his recovery, but I would say it's not actually that bad of a recovery. Fighting against Incineroar, it's scary, but it's still fun. Because the thing about Incineroar is he's exploitable. If you're a smart player, you try to exploit his weakness of being slow. But he will get in eventually, and you then have to do damage control. And doing damage control against Incineroar is like, what is the least amount of damage I can take here? He revenges one of your things, and he gets super powered, then it's like this super intense moment of like, how do I avoid him? How do I get the grab so that way he loses the revenge? How do I hit him, knock him away, keep him in disadvantage. And Incineroar that whole time is thinking, how can I grab you? How can I Alolan Whip you? How can I deal 70% in one hit? And super stressful. I am not going to lie. That is very stressful, but I enjoy that. I thrive off of that. And like, I will love any Incineroar player. Coolest character in the game. Inkling. Inkling is not a character we see much of anymore. But Inkling in general is... I love watching Inkling. I think she has some really cool combos. I think that she can play, like, she's just a solid character overall. And so for those reasons, I don't really have any faults against her. She's not quite as exciting as a ton of other characters. Fighting against her, you have to be super careful about getting rollered. You have to be careful about getting ink, like having a ton of ink on you. But in general, I'd say I like watching Inkling. I think Inkling has some of the coolest combo games in Ultimate. I don't like fighting her because you have to be so careful about roller, and back air feels kind of oppressive at times. Isabelle. Isabelle is boring. I mean, she can just keep you out of slingshot, she puts down mines, and like, she just plays this like really passive zoner game that isn't that interesting, and fighting against the Isabelle is so tedious. Like, sorry, Isabelle. Joker. Joker is just one of the slickest characters in Ultimate. Like, he's got the coolest movement, he's got Arsene, which creates super intense moments where they can punish you super hard for it. And like, it becomes this mini game of avoiding Joker when he has Arsene, and he's got this really explosive combo game. I personally really enjoy Joker in all forms. Fighting against him, like, he's a really good character, and it is annoying when you miss attacks because he just like hurtbox shifts through it. But overall, I like Joker. I feel like when he does get Arsene, how you play against Arsene determines whether or not you win the matchup. And I think there's a lot of expression when playing against Joker in how you deal with Arsene. And I find that interesting. Ken. I am going to reveal something about Shotos in this thing. I love watching them. I hate fighting them. Fighting Shotos is so goddamn stressful because they run at you, they start hitting one down tilt, and you're like, oh no, I'm dead here, and you're at 0. It's so stressful fighting against them. Or when you're watching a Shoto, it's exciting. It's like, oh, they just landed a 0 to death. That's so sick. And like, if you're the person getting 0 to death, it sucks. But watching a Shoto, super exciting. Like, I love it when they're on the screen. King Dedede. King Dedede is a character I have personally struggled against. I don't know what it is about this fat penguin, but he can just keep me out and annoy me to the ends of the earth. And his ledge trapping's really good, so like, you'll find people at the ledge against Dedede a lot, and then like, he's slow and heavy, and I don't know, I'm not a big fan of Dedede. King K. Rool. King K. Rool, on the other hand, is fun. I like King K. Rool. He hits hard, he's easy to combo, but like, he also has ways to break out of combos thanks to his belly armor. Overall, King K. Rool is pretty fun to fight against and pretty fun to watch. Kirby. The thing about Kirby is he's devastating in close quarters combat. And like, when he gets a cool neutral B off of his inhale, it's really fun to watch what a good Kirby player can do with that. Fighting against Kirby is a little stressful because if he gets in close, he can just deal insane amounts of damage to you. But the counterplay to Kirby also isn't that hard. It's just, don't let him hit you. So I could put Kirby in this tier, but I'm feeling like overall, when Kirby's on the screen, I'm having a good time, no matter whether I'm watching it or fighting against him. Link. Link is a character that is, honestly, if it weren't for Smash Ultimate, he'd be down here. Previous versions of Link were kind of boring because they weren't very good and they just weren't very fun to fight against. In Smash Ultimate, though, I actually find Link to be really fun to fight against and really fun to watch. With the new Remote Bomb, the fact that anybody can grab Remote Bomb and use it as a tool against Link, it adds an extra layer to the matchup of giving any character a projectile against Link, but Link ultimately has more control over it, which I find interesting. And Link can also just box with people, he can zone people. I don't know, Link's a good character in Ultimate, and I enjoy watching him and I enjoy fighting against him. Little Mac. Little Mac is not fun to fight against because it's so stressful. He can just come up, armor through your attacks, hit you in the face for 30 damage, it feels like, and you'll just die from center stage if he just lands a good up smash on you. And then like whenever he gets KO punch, it's terrifying. It's this game of chicken where you don't want to let Little Mac in, but you also want to get rid of KO punch because as long as he has it, he is the one of the scariest characters in the game. And edge guarding him is actually kind of hard because he actually has mix-ups in this game. But I will say I want to cheer for the Little Mac whenever I see them on screen. But ultimately, I think they go down here. The thing about Little Mac is like, he either has games where he is dominant and 3-stocks the opponent, or the opponent plays the matchup super well, edge guards him for 3 minutes in a row, and it's kind of boring. So for those reasons, and also just how much heartburn I get fighting against him, he'll be down here. Mario. Mario is interesting. He has a touch of death combos, but like his touch of death combos are pretty fun to watch. Getting hit by them sucks. So whenever I play against Mario, my modus operandi is don't get hit, and that means playing very safe, not letting Mario get close to me, and just camping, essentially. But like watching a good Mario player, I enjoy that. Mario can do a lot of cool things, and it's fun watching him 0-to-death people. I don't like fighting against Mario because of how much pressure he can exert at close range. Marth. Again, I am biased. Marth was one of my mains before I started Character Crisis, and Marth is just cool. Seeing somebody land a tipper F smash at 20% and just exploding somebody is awesome. Fighting against Marth, you have this like interesting game of you don't want to get tippered by him, so you kind of want to like move in closer, but like he can also push you to the edge and stuff. Overall, I just really enjoy Marth. I don't see any flaws with the character. He's just cool. Mega Man. Mega Man is sick. Like, he can do some of the coolest setups in the game. He's got really awesome tools, and like anytime he lands the up tilt Shoryuken, you can feel it. It's so satisfying. But fighting against Mega Man, oh my god, it's such a chore. You have to work so hard to get in. Pellets just stop all your movement, which makes you feel awful. And then he throws up a leaf shield, and if you didn't shield it, you just sit there for a second as you watch your character get hit, and Mega Man just stares at you. So, a little annoying, but overall, Mega Man belongs here. Meta Knight. Meta Knight is a character that I haven't seen very much Meta Knights play. So I'm not entirely sure how I feel about him spectating a Meta Knight, but I have played against a lot of Meta Knights, and playing against Meta Knight is stressful. Meta Knight he's very fast, he's hard to hit, hard to edge guard, and he has a lot of tools. Like, his sword is disjointed. A lot of his moves are weirdly safe. Like, his F smash is -6 on shield, if I remember correctly. The fact that Meta Knight has all these things, and on top of being able to, like, ladder death you if you're bad at DIing his combos, I think he's cool to watch. He has a lot of cool things going for him, but fighting against him is hard. Mewtwo. I love Mewtwo. Mewtwo is... The thing about fighting against Mewtwo is he's big and light and floaty, which means it's easy to combo him, which makes fighting against him fun. But the thing about Mewtwo is he is a glass cannon. He will also kill you. So matches against Mewtwo are normally pretty quick, and if... so it never takes time. It never has time to, like, become boring. And it's just fun fighting against such a strong character, but also a character that can be easily killed. Mii Brawler. Mii Brawler is an explosive character in Ultimate. He has this really strong combo game, and it's kind of frame tight, so watching a good Mii Brawler is like seeing someone just link hits together that look like they shouldn't combo, and then the opponent just gets stuck in a whirlwind, and then they get upbeat off the top blast zone. So, like, watching a Mii Brawler play, it's exciting, it's cool, like, he has a really unique combo game. Playing against Mii Brawler for those exact reasons is why it is awful. Mii Brawler can kill you from what feels like anywhere, and he's got really strong tools, and, like, yeah, he's a little stubby, but not that stubby. Like, it's the same thing as Mario. Fun to watch, cool combo game, but getting comboed sucks. I'm noticing a trend here. Mii Gunner. Okay, so Mii Gunner is a character that is super frustrating to fight against. Like, if you've ever found a Mii Gunner online that sets up a ledge trap and you're just stuck there for ages, there is nothing you can do to get off ledge for some characters, and a lot of them are toxic. I have fought so many toxic Mii Gunners, it's frustrating. But, like, is Mii Gunner interesting to watch? Kind of, but not really. Like, the professional Mii Gunners are doing the exact same things to other top players, and it can drag on. I will say Capitancito is sick with it, but as sick as you can get with Mii Gunner, if you know what I mean. Mii Swordfighter. Mii Swordfighter is kind of bland. I don't know. You'd never really see a Mii Swordfighter at top level because he's just a really unpopular character. But, like, fighting against Mii Swordfighter, it's not too bad. I don't know. I'd put him here. I don't have enough data to really go off of to be certain if I would enjoy watching a Mii Swordfighter play, but I feel like it'd be pretty basic. But, like, fighting against him, again, because he's basic, it's easier to, like, see what he's going for. So, I don't know. Not enough data, putting him here, because that's just what my gut says. Ness. We have Send in our scene, so I've definitely watched my fair share of gameplay, and I've definitely fought my fair share of Nesses online. And there's a big difference between watching a good Ness player and fighting a bad Ness player. Watching a good Ness player is really interesting because they'll do these side magnet combos, they'll hit somebody with PK Rocket, and you'll just explode, and, like, even playing against a good Ness player is interesting. So, like, it is entirely dependent on the skill of the Ness player. If the Ness player is great, honestly, love fighting against them, love watching them. If the Ness player is awful, hate fighting them, hate watching them, because it's just PK fire spam. So, like, it's a range. Ness can go anywhere on this list, but in general, I would put Ness here if I were to average all of my experiences surrounding Ness. Olimar. Olimar. Olimar is a character that I most recently played for my Character Crisis. Video comes out next Tuesday. And having gotten more experience with the character, Olimar is someone who, now that I've played him, and now that I know the optimal way to play as him, down here. Ultimar, nice. Olimar is, his game plan is throw Pikmin at you, claim center stage while you're trying to kill the Pikmin, and then pluck more Pikmin after you kill them and throw them at you again. And just kind of rinse and repeat that until you win the game. And like, there are layers to it, like when someone has a Pikmin latched onto them, then you need to like think, oh, what do they do when Pikmin's latched on them? And like, so like you can build that like layer of the neutral and the like, and that sort of thing. And that's interesting, but it's tedious and it's samey, and fighting against Olimar, really annoying, and watching Olimar, not that interesting. Pac-Man. Pac-Man is weird. Pac-Man can do a lot of things, and so like, it's fun to watch a good combo video with Pac-Man, because they can be really creative. But generally speaking, Pac-Man gameplay is one-dimensional, in that you just throw it on a hydrant, charge to your bonus fruit, and if they're at low percents, you get a Galaga. If they're at kill percent, you get a Bell. And that's more or less how it goes. And then fighting against Pac-Man, it can either be very fun or frustrating. And typically, it leans towards frustrating, because trying to get in on a hydrant and Bell and like all these other things, it makes the matchup overall pretty annoying. Palutena. Palutena is a character that I used to play. I only played her for like a month or so. And the thing about Palutena is, in many ways, she's like Fox, right? Like, strong, fast, has good kill power, just a neutral monster. But she's not as cool as Fox. Palutena is a character that is, you know, it's still a strong character. You don't see her as much anymore, but overall, still a good character. And the thing about Palutena is, what makes her good is that she's just got good tools for any situation. And so that just makes her a very well-rounded character. The thing about Palutena, though, is she's not super explosive. She's just a well-balanced character, I'd argue. And for those reasons, I think she belongs here. Fighting against a good Palutena player is very mentally stimulating, because you have all of these options that you need to be ready for, and like, just playing against a good Palutena, you learn a lot about the game, because it's just, you know, it's just Super Smash Bros. Condensed into one matchup. But watching Palutena, it's fine. She's fine. Like, she can be cool. Don't get me wrong. Palutena can do cool things. But generally speaking, she'll just, like, push you to the corner, back air, dash attack, and then kill you for it. Peach goes with Daisy. Pichu. Pichu is... I saw a lot of Pichu at the beginning of Ultimate, and back then Pichu was messed up. Pichu nowadays is a character you don't really see that much, and the thing about Pichu is fighting against a Pichu a little scary, because they have really dangerous kill confirms and can just rack up damage on you super quickly. But Pichu is literally the lightest character in the game, so a stiff breeze will send him to the blast zone. So, like, Pichu's explosive, and that explosiveness makes him entertaining to spectate. Overall, I'd say generally the matchup's pretty fun. Pichu is... it's just explosive, and I generally enjoy more explosive matchups. Pikachu. Now, the difference between Pichu and Pikachu is really good. Pikachu can do some cool things, and I like watching lightning loop combos, because I know those are pretty difficult to pull off. But overall, I don't find Pikachu very entertaining. Pikachu is he's just good. But I'm not excited when I see a Pikachu. And I'm not excited to fight one either. Piranha Plant. I was an honorary member of Plant Gang at the start of Ultimate. Plant is just... he's an oddball. Like, everything from his announcement to his moveset, it's weird. I love watching Plant. Like, it's so funny to... You don't ever see Plant at the top level anymore. And that makes him interesting. Fighting against Plant, it can be frustrating, trying to get in on Patooey, but overall, he's an interesting character. You have to think differently when fighting him, and I like it when characters force me to play differently. Yeah, I like Plant. Pokemon Trainer. Let's see. Charizard's up here. Squirtle's in here. Ivysaur's down here. Pokemon Trainer as a whole belongs here. I like Pokemon Trainer. I think they're a good character. We'll put you up with Charizard. Jigglypuff. We've been seeing a lot of Base Mage recently, which is awesome. And the thing about Jigglypuff is she's very exciting to spectate because she can get some really clutch edge guards. She can rest people, and there's always that like tense moment of when she lands a rest at like 40% of like, will it kill? And if it doesn't kill, then the person can come down and punish Jigglypuff for it, but they still take a ton of damage. And Puff is really light, so she'll just die at 80% sometimes, which is crazy. Fighting against Puff, I think it depends on your character, generally speaking. Like, if you have a really bad recovery, it can be frustrating to fight Puff. But overall, I like it when Puff's playing. She's not as degenerate as she was in Melee, I'll say that. Belmonts. Ooh. This character is interesting. Because of T3 Dom and how sick he is with the Belmonts, I love watching Belmonts play. Super cool characters. Fighting against them sucks, though. You just get outranged, they have amazing projectiles, and then you grab the ledge once and holy water, the holy cross, whatever, you're just stuck there forever. And there is that whole mini game of like trying to get off the ledge, and that is interesting, but generally speaking, it sucks fighting them. But I will give it up to T3 Dom. He makes the character look so cool. Ridley is honestly really, really fun. Like, he's a big body, easy to combo, but he's also got really unique tools that you don't see from a lot of characters. He's an uncommon character, and for that, I think that pushes him up to the top. Fun to fight, fun to watch. It's Ridley. Robin. Robin is same category as the Belmonts in that very frustrating to deal with, especially when you're on the ledge. I play against a good Robin player a lot, and overall, I find the matchup pretty interesting. Like, you have to also take into account the books and the Levin Sword especially, and pick your openings. And that whole mental game of like keeping track of things makes the matchup interesting. And like, when you watch a Robin, I want them to succeed. I want them to do well. So like, I thought I would put him in the same tier as the Belmonts, but honestly, the more I think about it, I like Robin. I think they're a cool character. R.O.B. Mr. Roberto. R.O.B. is... Where do I start? This character is big, and big characters are fun to combo. But R.O.B. can also just destroy you. And there is that whole element of like, he's hard to get in on. Like, he's got really good projectiles, and his combo game is devastating. I don't know. He's not going in top tier, I'll say that. I think R.O.B belongs here. Again, just, you see him a lot, especially in the competitive, like, there's a lot of great R.O.B players, but like, they're not all that different from each other. Like, there's definitely playstyle differences and whatnot. But like, fighting a R.O.B, it's good, it's stimulating, it's interesting navigating through all of his attacks and stuff, and like, there are things you can do against R.O.B, but watching him, I don't know. I'm never particularly jazzed when a R.O.B's on screen. Rosalina and Luma. Okay, so Rosalina and Luma, the buzz makes this character look so clean and so interesting to watch. Watching him combo, jab into like Luma up tilt into Rosa up air, and then they die, that's cool. Like, I like watching Rosa. She's got so many cool tricks. Fighting against Rosa, honestly, not that bad. Like, there's that whole game of like killing Luma and stuff, and unlike with Ice Climbers, it's a lot easier to kill Luma, and so you can really do a lot to play against Rosalina and Luma for that reason. And like, anytime they don't have Luma, Rosa will usually corner themselves, which puts you in an advantageous situation. I think fighting Rosalina and Luma is not as hard as fighting against Ice Climbers, so I'll give it up to Rosalina and Luma. Ryu. Same deal as Ken. Just love watching a good Ryu. I love Ashimo. Sick player. Fighting against Ryu, my heart is beating. I can't let you touch me. It's dangerous. You have all these different fireballs to force me to approach. So like, fighting against Ryu, hard as hell. But I love watching a good Ryu. Sheik. Sheik is sick. Like, objectively. Super fast, has amazing combos, is just like landing needles into up smash, one of my favorite combo kills. And then now that they've discovered teardrop combos, like, Sheik is just cool. Fighting against Sheik, on the other hand, that's harder. Sheik can be oppressive. Sheik can keep you in the corner for years, and I don't know. I like fighting Sheik. Like, even if Sheik can be this like super oppressive character, at the end of the day, she's not broken. She's just good. And that makes her fun to fight. Shulk. Ooh, Shulk. Watching a good Shulk is exciting. Shulk can do a lot of things. And like, when you watch a Shulk just switch through their Monados and just play that game of all that stuff, it's interesting. Fighting against Shulk, annoying as hell. You just can't get in. Big sword, and Big Sword beats a lot of characters, as it turns out. And overall, like, it's hard to edgeguard him. He's got Shield Monado, which makes it so you'll just like drop kill confirms and stuff. Fighting against a Shulk is hard. Watching a good Shulk, though, I enjoy that. Snake. Snake is a perfect example of fun to watch, terrible to fight. When you watch, like, I am one of those people who enjoys observing the Snake Ditto. When there is just a million explosions on the screen and the snakes are doing all these B-reverse techs and like just running around the stage, and it's a battlefield, I enjoy that. It's fun to watch. Fighting against Snake, stressful. That is the theme of this tier. Stressful to fight. The thing about Snake is, like, he's hard to combo because of Grenade, and like, you can keep him in disadvantage for a while, and that is one of his weaknesses. But in general, he's hard to combo, hard to play against, and when he starts setting up a wall of grenades, and it's really hard to get in, and then you always have to be aware of C4, and if you forget about it, it's easy to get blown up. There's many times where he's planted a C4, and I just didn't notice, and so, kaboom. His up tilt alone is disgusting. So, like, what do you do? What do you do against Snake? I don't know. Cool character. Just hard to fight. Sonic. Yeah, are you surprised by this? Sonic will just... If optimal Sonic gameplay is you will not touch me and you will die for it. if you do. Like, run to one side of the stage, run to the other. It's Sonic. And his combo game it's better than it's ever been. Ultimate Sonic is the coolest version of Sonic, which is saying something because I still don't think he's all that cool. Sorry, Sonic mains. Toon Link. Okay, Toon Link was my first ever main, and I think Toon Link is sick. Boomerang into bomb into forward air, that's a really cool combo, honestly. And like he's got like really good zoning tools, but is fast and can still come into and still get in your space and hit you for it. And so like I like watching Toon Link. I think Toon Link's super cool to watch. Fighting against Toon Link, it's still annoying, but not as bad. I'm debating whether or not Toon Link goes in this tier. Fighting against Toon Link can be really annoying, and there's just that wall of projectiles that you have to deal with, and then once you get past the wall of projectiles, he's got a really good sword and can just keep you out. So I think it largely depends on the Toon Link's playstyle. I'm between tiers here, but I'm willing to put Toon Link down here. Villager. Well, Villager's another one of those characters where it's just like, he'll hit you with Slingshot, he'll keep you out with Lloyd. When he has Axe, it's kind of funny, but I mean, like, it's annoying to fight against him, it's annoying to watch him on screen, honestly. It's just like, what do you do? He's not even that good. Wario. Okay. Wario is awesome. Gluttony, I don't know how you've pushed this character as far as you have, but you've made Wario look like a top tier so many times. It's crazy. Thing about fighting against Wario is for most of the game, it's not that bad. He's just like, he's got really good air drift, he's got really good mobility, and can be hard to edgeguard at times. For that last 10% of the game, terrifying. It's just like, if I'm at 40%, one nair, I'm dead. And that is, like, anytime he has waft, you always have to be ready for dying, which is hard. But overall, I enjoy Wario. Like, there's that whole game of, like, when he does have waft, the interesting thing about it is just, like, trying to get them to commit to using waft at bad times, and then as soon as they expend waft, then you can breathe a sigh of relief, move on with the game. And if they hit you with it, that's probably a cool combo. I'm just gonna say it. Wii Fit Trainer. Wii Fit is an interesting character. On the one hand, really annoying to fight against because she has so many different projectiles, and anytime she gets deep breathing, it's like Arsene on command, which is really good. The thing about Wii Fit, though, is honestly, I enjoy fighting against Wii Fit. She's got good tools, but is not oppressive. Dealing with her projectiles is not the worst thing in the world, but like watching her, it's not that inspiring. It also depends on the Wii Fit's playstyle, admittedly, and like if they're just going to camp ledge, throw out soccer ball, throw out sun salutation, and just stay there the entire game, yeah, that's not fun. That's not fun for either player. There's a Wii Fit in our scene who I like fighting against. Shoutouts to JFlyT. Wii Fit's not very inspiring to watch, but I enjoy it. I enjoy having a bout against Wii Fit. Wolf. I mean, Wolf is just the classic top tier. Great character, well-rounded, has some weaknesses, but they're not like so defined that the character is extreme. Like he's just a well-balanced character, and he's at a good weight to combo. He's like dealing with Blaster, definitely annoying, but like not so annoying that it ruins the matchup. Overall, I love it when Wolf's on the screen, and am more than happy to fight against Wolf or watch Wolf. Yoshi. Yoshi is he's an interesting character. At the beginning of Ultimate, I probably would have put Yoshi down here. Kind of annoying to fight, kind of annoying to watch, but as I've played more Ultimate, and as I've played more good Yoshi players, and watching different Yoshi players explode onto the scene, like Yoshidora, honestly, my opinion on Yoshi has completely flipped. I'm surprised to say I like this character now. Yoshi has excellent air drift, is got that spike, and like landing combos off of egg, really cool. I love egg combos. And like Yoshi just has good tools, and whenever you can double jump armor through a up air or kill move that would have gotten him, I like it. I like Yoshi. And fighting against Yoshi, at the end of the day, he's just your basic bread and butter character, and I enjoy fighting characters like that. Young Link. I have never liked Young Link. Fire Arrow is pain. It's frustrating to watch people playing against Young Link and get hit by Fire Arrow from across the stage and then get comboed, and like his combo game isn't so cool that I'm inspired. Maybe it'll change when I play Character Crisis with Young Link, but my opinion of Young Link is not very high right now. Zelda. Okay, so Zelda is frustrating to fight against because she can change up Phantom timing so much that dealing with Phantom is stressful. And then there's the other thing to keep in mind, like, if you fight against a Zelda online, Zelda's a really difficult character to fight when you can't react to her stuff as well. However, Zelda does have a really cool combo game, and like, watching Zelda hit up B is like, I enjoy that. It's simple, but satisfying. So Zelda, you get this category. Hate fighting against you. Would not wish it upon my worst enemy, but I like watching you. Zero Suit Samus. If it weren't for Mars, would Zero Suit Samus be down here? Maybe. But the thing about Mars is, since he was the pioneer of the Zero Suit meta, Zero Suit is actually really cool now. Shu just recently had a great run, and I loved watching Zero Suit. I loved watching her Zero Suit. The thing about Zero Suit is they're really frustrating to fight against because it feels like you can never get in, you can never hit them, you can never punish them. But at the end of the day, ZSS, like, I like watching her. She's got cool combos. I hate Flip Kick. Lucario. Okay, so Lucario, we just recently got to watch Armadillo go just pop off at Battle of BC5, which was super cool to watch. As the spectator, it's so exciting. Like, when he gets high aura and is 3 stocks behind the opponent, you're just like, is he still in this? He can still win this. And that's amazing from a spectator. As the person playing against Lucario, oh my god, you're having a heart attack. Dealing with high aura Lucario is more stressful than anything else on this list. He's super scary and uncommon, so any mix-ups that Lucario has are mix-ups that you've probably never had to deal with before. So, amazing character to watch. Panic attack when you have to fight him. Lucas. I was cheering for Regalo when he had his huge run last year, but at the end of the day, I don't find him that interesting. Like, sure, he's got snake combos with, I don't know, like, fighting against Lucas, it's like, his PK Fire is at a good angle to, like, keep you out. He's got really good boxing tools, and he's just annoying to deal with, and when I'm watching a good Lucas player, I'm not particularly inspired most of the time. Like, even with Regalo's run, that was cool to see. I like watching people succeed with uncommon characters, but at the end of the day, I'm not particularly enthused. Lucina. Alright, so I put Marth up here. Marth is fun to watch. Lucina, I think I have to put Lucina up here too. Pearl Bonham really showcases the potential of Lucina, and even seeing him hit something as simple as like finishing a combo with Dolphin Slash, it's like, wow, this character has so much potential still, like so much untapped potential. And in general, Lucina is not that hard to fight against either. Like, very good character, just lots of great strengths, but it's Smash Bros, and I find Smash Bros to be a lot of fun. Luigi. Luigi is I would say it's character dependent on how fun it is to fight against Luigi. When I was maining Daisy, yeah, I actually really liked fighting Luigi because it was very easy to float and avoid Luigi, and so I would just camp him for several minutes. As I've been going through my character crisis, it's a lot harder. Luigi can just destroy you if you're not careful. Watching Luigi, I'm still rooting for him. Like, he's got some broken stuff, but like it's kind of fun to watch. Like anytime Luigi lands a grab, you're just that moment of like, are they going to land the 0 to death? You always have that going in the back of your mind. Whether or not that's fun is dependent on whether you're watching the person getting comboed or being the one getting comboed. Byleth. Byleth is cool when piloted by MKLeo. I love watching MKLeo's Byleth, but dealing with Byleth, honestly, still cool. I like Byleth. They got cool tools, and there's always that, like, you have to be so careful when using your shield around Byleth because it can get broken so easily. They're not overwhelming. They got great range, but you can deal with that, and against, like, not as good Byleths, there's a lot of openings for you to get in and exploit them for it. Terry. Okay, I have to admit, I hate Terry. I hate fighting Terry. This character is bullshit, and I'm not going to pretend that they are one of the most frustrating characters to deal with in the game. If you've been watching my Character Crisis series, you'll understand why. As for watching Terry, he's kind of boring. Like, sure, Terry can land some cool stuff from time to time, but most of Terry's combos are just like 3 hits and then you're done, and that's fine. And like when he gets go, it's a little more fun to watch Terry play, but when I'm watching a Terry play and I see them get go and then they kill somebody at 40%, starting with an F tilt, I'm not thinking, wow, that was awesome. I'm thinking, wow, that was stupid. Min Min. I don't even have to think hard about this one. Min Min she does the same thing for the entire game, and that is throw arms at you. And for a lot of the cast and for a lot of players, that's enough to win the game. And so the Min Min player does not need to do anything unique or different. When it gets to like higher level and people are better at playing around Min Min, it does get a little more interesting. It's interesting watching how people will get in on Min Min and exploit her for not having the best close range options. But at the end of the day, it's Min Min. Like, I don't need to explain myself further. Steve. Steve is killing Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, as they say, but in my opinion, what a cool character. I love Steve. I'm biased. I've recently played Steve for Character Crisis, but like, I love watching Steve because you never know what he's capable of. There's so many cool things he can do. And there are plenty of times where I've watched Steve and gone like, wow, that's dumb. Like, footstool anvil, broken. But I like watching Steve because there's that whole minigame of like, how do they manage their resources? How does the opponent pressure them so they have to use up their resources? And that whole minigame is interesting. Playing against Steve, when he gets Diamond, it's rough. It's rough dealing with his super powerful moves. And so like, fighting against Steve, yeah, that sucks. Watching Steve, I enjoy it. I think he's cool. Sephiroth. Sephiroth is awesome. He's just... It can be frustrating fighting against Sephiroth, but at the end of the day, he's tall and light, which makes him easy to combo. And when he has Wing, like, he's very powerful, but not... The way he gains power is subtle enough that it doesn't feel overwhelming. He's a very good character when he has one wing. Don't get me wrong, one of the best in the game. But generally speaking, I like watching Sephiroth. I think he's a cool character, and I like fighting against him, even if I get F-tilted at ledge 4 times in a row. Pyra and Mythra. These characters are boring to watch, but really fun to fight. The thing about Pyra and Mythra is you always have a win condition against them. Just knock them off stage and edgeguard them. And they have enough mix-ups that it's interesting to edgeguard them, but not impossible. While they have a very oppressive game plan on stage, generally speaking, you can predict it. You can prepare for it. Like, whenever I'm fighting against Pyra and Mythra, my number one thing that I'm keeping in mind is when is she going to dash attack? Primarily speaking about Mythra. And when you're playing against Pyra, it's like, she's a lot slower. How can I, like, space around that? And so I find playing against them interesting. Watching them, there's so many Pyra and Mythras, and, like, when they land down air up smash at 60% and you die for it, that's stupid. But generally speaking, I enjoy playing against them, don't like watching them. Kazuya Mishima. He's cool. I like Kazuya. Honestly, up here, I don't care what people have to say about Kazuya. Like, yeah, you can get 0 to death by him, but you can also do it back to him. Kazuya's got a terrible disadvantage state, and, like, his combo routes are exciting. Like, watching Kazuya, it's really tense whenever he lands an electric, and it's all on the Kazuya player. For messing up. Okay, not entirely true. There are things that you can do when you're getting comboed by Kazuya, but it's mostly on the Kazuya. And, like, it's just intense. And, like, playing against the Kazuya, definitely stressful. But because his disadvantage state is so bad, I feel like there's a lot of counterplay left to be discovered around fighting Kazuya. So, like, when I fight a Kazuya, I'm not frustrated. I'm, like, interested. I'm, like, engaged. I want to learn how to beat Kazuya because I think he's a very exploitable character. And, like, just he's both sides of the extreme. Oppressive advantage state, really bad disadvantage state. And I find it interesting to watch and play against Kazuya. Sora. Sora belongs in this category. Well, maybe here. The thing about Sora is, for the longest time, we all thought Sora was bad. It was primarily because he was the last DLC character. But Sora is a character that a lot of people cheer for. I know that whenever there's a Sora at top 8, everybody will just cheer, Fire! Thunder! Freeze! And that's fun. The spectating experience for that reason alone is fun, and it always feels like you're rooting for the Sora player, which is fun. But man, fighting against Sora is so slow, and, like, he's got these crazy long combos against you, and, like, you knock him off stage, he barely survives. You're just sitting there waiting for him to recover as he just, yeah, no. Fighting against Sora, lame. Watching Sora, because of the scene and the way we perceive Sora, that is the fun part. Final results. There's a lot of differences between being a spectator in Ultimate and a competitor, and I think Ultimate is a game that is really fun to watch. There's so many different matchups, and it's just generally very entertaining to see all the different things people can do. However, competing in Ultimate is a different story because there's so many characters in this game that can punish you super hard if you're not careful. And because there's so many matchups, it's difficult to learn all of that. But at the end of the day, I find Smash Bros. To be really fun, whether I'm watching it or playing it. So I hope you enjoyed this tier list, and I'm curious to see what you agree with and what you disagree with. So let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on Tuesday.